Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about what men can do to understand attractive women better. I made the opposite one as well. What can women do to understand attractive men better? I usually make videos like this for both sides. A lot of you guys only see one of them, and then you write in the comments that you're mad that I only made one side. This is not as often, but sometimes it happens. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm making videos to help people. This was requested. And then I just make the opposite version. I don't always do that, but very often I do. So before you guys get upset about it, just try and look at what else is coming or wait a day or two just to see what video I'm going to post, because very often I am going to post what you're looking for. You just need to wait a little bit, okay? So today we're going to talk about this. I don't know when the other one is posting. It'll be before or after, but it'll be soon, okay? The first one is that it is important to understand that attractive women, from what I see, and there is research on this, they do get more opportunities, and a lot of them are unaware of their advantage to some extent. But often, a lot of people assume that because they're attractive, that is in conjunction with a woman who exploits this or is manipulative, and that is not true, okay? Attractiveness is separate from her character. There are plenty of attractive women, at least in my opinion. I've seen some attractive ladies, and they don't come across manipulative to me. I know some women who I think they're very pretty, and I don't think they're manipulative or they exploit the system or whatever. Some of them are just normal and usually satisfied with what they have. And attractiveness, a lot of women do not even view attractiveness as her only characteristic. And so they're not going to exploit those things because maybe they'd rather be a genuine person. And I think a lot of men think that they're hand in hand. Not all men think this way, but a lot of men think if she's attractive, she's going to be manipulative, she's going to be exploitive. Some of them might even say a lot of women who are attractive are mentally unstable or crazy. And it's an unhealthy way of thinking, because what I believe is happening, and I'm trying to help. I think it helps men to tell themselves that that's the reason that he doesn't want to reach out to her or connect with her, because he's actually afraid of rejection. And so he says that she has these traits. I'm sure a lot of them do. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying and you probably have experiences with that, but I'm saying sometimes you might tell yourself that that's what's happening just so you don't have to see that maybe she is a genuine person, she just doesn't like you. Like, that's a little bit more hurtful than to hear that maybe she's abnormal or she's crazy or I don't want her because she's, too much, whatever it is. A lot of men do that, but I think if you are a person who does that, self-awareness is good as well to understand that. But it's also that it makes you as a man more likely to pick a partner that might not be the best fit for you, because you might pick her for other reasons. You might pick a partner that you feel is more palatable to what you perceive as not manipulative or not exploitive, but maybe not as attractive as what you want. I think it's a balance, of course, but I just think it's important that you look at reality for what it really is and not hide from the things that maybe could hurt a little bit temporarily, but will help you in the long run. And I also will say, and I brought this up before, I think another reason this could be is I could be wrong. And I don't know if this is going to be taken wrong. Probably a lot of people get mad at me, but I'm always honest, and a lot of people do get mad at me, and that's part of life. I think it's possible that in the dating pool, the ladies who are single and who are attractive, maybe there's a little bit more of a correlation with these traits, because a lot of women who maybe are attractive and are mentally healthy, maybe they're already in a couple. Like, they're already coupled with somebody, maybe there is a correlation to that. So I'm not saying that you guys are completely wrong about this. I just think that it's important to keep your mind open to all possibilities that could particularly correlate to this. That's my perspective. Could be wrong. The next one is that a lot of men believe, and I think it can help to understand, they believe that there's a correlation between attractive women and pickiness. I think there is, but I'm going to explain it a little bit. Attractive women are used to getting more attention. This is true. I think this is true, at least. However, that does not mean that the most attractive women are the most picky. And I'm going to explain this from a psychological perspective, because that's obviously what I do for a living. If a woman is too picky, far too picky, it's usually a defense mechanism to her own insecurities. We were just talking about in the first point, a lot of men or some men, they say, oh, this woman is mid, or she's pretty, but she's probably crazy, right? They put a negative on it because they don't want to admit that maybe if they do reach out to her, he might be rejected. Women do that too, but they do it in a little bit of a different way. They become very, very, very picky. Have you ever seen, and I'm not picking on you if you are like this as a lady, but I'm trying to help, right? Have you ever seen a lady who is single, very single, and she's like incredibly, incredibly, incredibly picky, but she wants to get married like yesterday? I'm not sure if you've seen it. I know people like that. I'm not even picking on them. These are great women, but they're a little bit odd in this particular compartment of their life, right? You're picky because you're actually afraid that you'll be rejected. And that fear of rejection that she has is so extreme, she might think there's something wrong with her and she doesn't want to see that. So she uses that defense mechanism of being very, very picky. So in that way, attractive women, some of them might be more picky for sure. I think there is a correlation, but I don't think that hyper pickiness it doesn't correlate, at least not strongly, to attractiveness. I think it really correlates to insecurity and feeling like you're afraid to see you're not good enough. So I think it's important that as men, if you want to understand attractive women or just women in general, because I think attractiveness is obviously an opinion to some extent. There's research, never mind. I make many videos on that. You guys can look at. I think it's important to realize that the pickiness and the attractiveness may not be 100% correlated. The next one is that attractive women have insecurities too. Maybe she's not insecure about her looks, maybe she is, but she has other insecurities as well, right? I think a lot of women are attractive, but I'm also very lenient with everything. So maybe my opinion is not accurate, but I know a lot of women who are, I think, very attractive, and they're insecure about plenty of things, right? Insecure about even the way they dress. They might be insecure about their personality. They might be insecure about their cooking skills or their whatever skill. They might be insecure about anything, even financially, whatever it is, or their family situation. Maybe they're insecure that they grew up in a broken home. Like, there are lots of insecurities you can have. And so just because she's attractive doesn't mean she's immune to insecurities. Now, if she's attractive and she acts like she has no insecurities, then she probably has a lot of insecurities. Most people have insecurities regardless, right? This is part of being human. The next one is that attractive women want to be understood and appreciated as well. Same with attractive men. Just because they're attractive doesn't mean they don't want to be understood and appreciated for who they actually are, right? The next one is that actually some attractive women, just like I've mentioned on the attractive men one, they actually are afraid to open up because they are afraid to be taken advantage of, particularly for her looks. But in general, she's probably guarded because she got hurt in the past. To some extent, she was taken advantage of. Some attractive women, this is a little scary, what I'm about to say. So if anyone wants to skip a minute ahead, I would recommend it if you kind of don't have a stomach for some trauma stuff. A lot of attractive women, some of them were hurt a lot in their youth, taken advantage of. It's scary to think about, but some of them have been. And some of it is because of their looks or maybe other opportunity, whatever it is. It's a really frightening thing to think about, but they have trauma that roots all the way back. They also could have been bullied by other women, maybe even men that they rejected. And so they are actually really guarded, some of them. And so that's something to keep in mind. And the very last one is women want to be seen, especially attractive women, but women in general, want to be seen as more than just her looks, just so she can, feel like she's more than that, right? It's very good that she's attractive, right? Of course, you want to make her feel attractive, but she has other things too. Maybe she has hobbies, maybe she's friendly, maybe, I don't know, some people like certain hobbies that are kind of unique. I have one person that I know, they like to make book sleeves. That's a really unique hobby. Like there's a little, it covers the book. That's a unique hobby. I'm sure if you liked that about her, you brought that up, she would be really happy. So just something, it usually helps them to not feel so objectified. That's usually where it comes from. But anyways, I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.